Kevin, I'm always interested in the rookies, seeing which guys step up. The leap to the NBA can be a huge one, so you never know what will happen with some of these young players.
And now the opening lineup for Boston. The small and power forwards, the star pair of Brown and Tatum. Holiday in the backcourt. To his side is White. And it's Porzingis in at the 5, roaming the paint. And here's Holiday, who will bring it up for the Boston Celtics. It's a 3-point game. Their last encounter was in Boston.
Well, they coasted to the win in that one. Were dominant in the rebound department, and that was a huge factor.
I think there was no question they brought a level of physicality along with a tremendous work ethic, and it was why they were successful.
Maxey kicks to Embiid. Oubre sets the screen for Embiid. Pass to Oubre. 5 to shoot. Outside, Maxey misses the 3. A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. This team has handed a lot of responsibility to Tyrese Maxey, but Greg, he's lived up to it.
And has grown very well into his role with the team, shown that he can be a scorer all over the floor. Amazing to think how far he's come in such a short amount of time.
They get it again. Embiid kicks to Oubre. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
Well, you have to respect how fast Kelly Oubre gets a shot off in catch-and-shoot situations.
Wide, a screen on Maxey. Holiday gets the bucket.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
And I think defensively, that is not the way you want to start. Giving up high percentage looks, that doesn't typically end well.
Scooped up. Maxey passes to Embiid. Nobody near George. That's him coming off the assist from Embiid. George has got 6 points.
Boy, Paul George now taking double the amount of threes he did when he first came in the league. Incredible.
Outside Holiday. Tatum setting the pick for Holiday. 6 on the shot clock. From down in the low post, it goes.
Yeah, Drew Holiday can either receive or initiate contact. He just is so tough.
And it's a defensive 3-second violation. And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the 76ers.
Well, they haven't wasted any time getting into a groove from deep, putting up and hitting a healthy amount of three-pointers thus far.
You've also got to love the way they've been crashing the offensive glass. Multiple opportunities, not giving up on possessions. Beautiful.
From outside the arc. Rebound by Drew Holiday. Celtics trail by 6. Right now, let's send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. At this point in his career, Paul George says he's in bully mode. He said, every night I'm on the floor, I'm there to dominate. Whether it's being more physical or going right at whoever I got to go at, you're going to feel me. I'm having that approach every time. I'm there to destroy you. Kevin?
I love it, though, D.A. Got to admit it. Awful powerful. Thank you. And Nick Nurse, Greg, the 26th head coach in 76ers franchise history.
And Kevin, known for his creativity and that outside-the-box thinking. I think it's a good fit with this forward-thinking front office.
Bangs home the trifecta.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Right the pass to Tatum. Rebound by the 76ers. Outside, George. 1:19 left in the first quarter. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Embiid.
All right, a chance here to check out the stats for Paul George. Coming off a terrific season, he averaged 22 points per game last season, 5 rebounds and 3 assists. He's been nothing short of fantastic during that stretch. Offense coming very easily for him.
And so much of it, to me, is his ability to read the floor, make the right decision, and then go right after the action he wants.
Here's Maxey. Jason Tatum picking up that last basket. Pass to Oubre. Embiid sets the pick for Oubre. And the rejection by Tatum.
There's a pride to the defensive end of the floor. Tatum sends that back.
You know, it's going to be tough to win when you give the other team second and third opportunities to score the ball.
Good on the bucket. Holiday's got 6 points.
Well, you get exactly what you want right there. Clean look, right at the cup. Nicely done.
Left side, Maxey. Porzingis with the steal. And up the court come the Celtics on the break. Brown finds Tatum. To the inside. And it's blocked. Tries again. Shoots. What a play. Simply drains it in at the buzzer.
And give him credit. Good awareness of the time.
And so it's Philadelphia with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. And the three-point shot has been big for them. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And looking at what we've seen so far, guys, from the 76ers, what are your thoughts?
They set a physical tone in the first, and that really showed on the backboard.
I think it's why they hold the lead here early, because they're controlling the flow of the game with those second chance opportunities.
On the court for the Celtics, second quarter underway. And in the front court, Brown and Tatum. Holiday in the backcourt. To his side is White. And it's Porzingis in at the center. And when Porzingis goes to work inside, Doris, there are not a lot of answers for his side.
We know, Kevin, obviously, that post-ups become less and less a part of the game, but still an important one opportunistically. And you talk about efficiency in the post, that is Kristaps Porzingis. But not only that, the mid-range game is there, the three-point game is there, and the defense is there.
Holiday gets the bucket.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
The 76ers lead. Maxey with it. Embiid sets the pick for Maxey. Pulls up. Porzingis with the rebound.
Listen, he knows he should have made that shot. We'll see if they can work it back to him in that same area.
To the paint, shoots it up. Can't tie it up as that one's no good. Philadelphia's gotten fewer than half of their three-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. And there's the foul. It's on Jaylen Brown. That is his first foul of the game.
First team foul.
And here's Embiid. He's got 6. Porzingis with the block.
Kristaps Porzingis has proven over the course of his young career that he is willing to be a force as a shot blocker.
Holiday gets the bucket.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Here's Maxey. And slam dunk by Maxey.
And he shows us all what the breakaway rim was invented for.
Can you believe he almost brought the whole thing down by hanging on that long? And that's a foul called on Kelly Oubre. That'll be his second foul of the game.
That's his second personal foul. Second team foul.
2 minutes now played in the second quarter. Every year, Greg, we get a new batch of rookies into the NBA, and sometimes we're all guilty of judging them too early.
Oh, absolutely. I think we need probably 3 years to evaluate a player. You know, fans and media can be a little harsh at times, but not everybody develops at the same rate.
McCain, a fresh 14 for Philadelphia. Outside, Maxey. Oubre sets the screen for Maxey. And slam dunk by Maxey.
Doesn't take much for Maxey to find a lane to the rim.
Holiday against Maxey. Tatum with the screen on Maxey. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. You know, Doris, from the moment Jason Tatum entered the NBA, he has been the guy on his team. How big a burden do you think that is for a player to carry?
Well, Jason Tatum, regardless of how much responsibility he has always worn it gracefully. This young man, from the time he was a little kid in St. Louis, has dreamed of leading an NBA team. He is doing exactly that.
And now we've got some time to check in from the sideline. You got for us, GA?
Kevin, the Celtics can beat you in a number of ways. Point guard Yoru Holiday said, we can play small and big. We have great bench players who come in and change the game at any time and could start on other teams. And we have a hunger. Kevin, they're going to be a problem for a long time.
Agreed. They are stacked, DA, for sure.
Well, Oubre has the kind of athleticism that makes that an easy play.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Basket counts.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
And Holiday kicks to Tatum. Back to Holiday. Tatum with the screen on Maxey. The kick out to Tatum. The three is drilled by Tatum.
What a weapon the three has become for Jason Tatum. Look out.
Maxey passes to George. Oubre sets the screen for George. Lays it up off the glass. George has got 8 points.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
Tatum down low. Covered by Oubre. The kick out to Tatum. Tatum with another miss.
Well, he's got a great stroke. That one almost dropped.
Embiid is at the elbow. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting. And here we go with the coach's challenge. A surprise in a competitive game like this. And he's disputing the personal foul call.
At the line for 2. The play is under video review.
The original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving at, and how fast the action really is, and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review. And guys, as soon as you start going over and through a rebounder, you're probably going to get whistled for over the back.
Well, silly foul. He realized it went...
Oh, he nailed it!
Yeah, that's exactly how to end the half on a high note. Tacking 3 points onto this lead at the horn. The mood in each of those locker rooms will be very different.
Tyrese Maxey. He's been the guy making things happen for the 76er. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. We'll get you back to the action after this break.
Looking at Philadelphia, you really get to see what they're made of after your hard work in the offseason. Yeah, you have big...
And let's swing it back around to talk about our game. It was the Joel Embiid show in that first half. That'll do it for our show.
And for those of you just tuning in, thanks for being with us. The second half of this game still to play. An exceptional performance from Jrue Holiday.
He had a fast pass to the lane that first half. Got inside on demand.
Now, this guy is such a good finisher on the move, and so far the defense has not been able to counter it.
They've got Drummond. Lowry out there with Gordon. Then there's Edwards. And it's Yabusele into the 4-man position. That's Nick Nurse's 5 as we get into the second half.
Well, Al Horford does not mind sending a message now and then. How about that easy flush?
Drummond sets the screen for Gordon. Drives to the hoop. And then Gordon with the dunk.
Making the most of the screen. That's how it's done.
And it's in the perfect spot, Greg. Frees him up to get all the way to the bucket.
Where was the defense? No fighting through the pick, no rotation.
And it looks like, yep, it's a coach's challenge on the personal foul. That triggers a replay review by the official.
At the line for the Celtics, Peyton Pritchard. One shot. The play will be reviewed.
Personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able to make a challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
And that one misses. GA, these Boston Celtics are unquestionably a top-tier offensive unit.
Stupendous shooting, excellent instincts with the ball. Yeah, they are a model offense in many ways, making it tough for many teams to keep up with them.
Doors, some great shooters on this Boston team, but at times, don't you think they settle from the perimeter?
Well, Kevin, obviously this is a coaching staff that puts a heavy emphasis on three-point shooting. They led the league in makes, they led the league in attempts. But obviously, your two best players, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, with their size and athleticism and driving ability, you want to try to find the right balance. They do a great job of that.
Lock at 6. Here's Hauser. And it's off from three-point range. The 76ers leading by 5. Here's Yoru. Can't cash in from close range. Here's Pritchard while recovering. Outside, Horford. Pass to Pritchard. Picked by Horford. Here's Cornette, and stolen by Drummond. One-on-one fast break. Break against Lowry. Abu Saleh kicks to Edwards, and there's the foul. It's on Justin Edwards. That's his first foul.
Oh, great defense there. Anticipated the play and got there first.
Celtics trail by 5. And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half. Here's Pritchard, while recovering. Shot clock at 5. Pritchard passes to Hauser. Over Gordon. Again, the miss by the Celtics. And it's Lowry with the ball. Brings it up for the 76ers. They've led by as much as 10. And Drummond kicks to Lowry. Here's Edwards. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
Well, the defensive breakdowns allows Kyle Lowry to take advantage and set up an open look for his guy.
The 76ers shooting their third free throw attempt of the game. And what about the evolution of Tyrese Maxey? Greg, according to him, he's just getting started.
Well, Kevin, I'd have to agree. I mean, he's got some big shoes to fill with James Harden leaving, but each year this guy has just gotten better. And not only has he matched Harden's production in Philadelphia, I think he's exceeded it.
Here's Pritchard. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
You know, we see this all the time. You're basically, as a defender, hoping the man misses rather than putting in the work to get over screens. Listen, even average three-point shooters are going to make that shot. Defense must be better.
Here's Pritchard while recovering. Here's Hauser. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline.
A good job by him on the glass here tonight. +8 in that department.
Gordon inside. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Now let's take a look at how the shots have been divided up between 3-point shots and 2-point shots for the 76ers.
And boy, they've been producing points both inside and out. That kind of symmetry offensively is a great sign, and it's correlated with their early success.
Good on both. Celtics trail by 11. 1:16 left in the third quarter. Goes up on the wing. They get the rebound. And a missed layup. For Philadelphia, they've gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter. 50% from the field.
What I like here, even with the big lead, they continue to execute their offense.
And that, to me, is a sign of excellent coaching. There's an attention to detail. There is valuing of every possession.
And the officials call him for a 3-second violation. Let's use this break for a quick look at the squads that really made it happen on the fast break last season. 5th on the list, the 76ers.
I mean, it's a crowd-pleasing style, right? I mean, this club just got out and ran at every possible chance.
And the 76ers with a completely new group now. Oubre sets the screen for Maxey. Pass to McCain. To the right side. Embiid finds Maxey. Over Tatum. The rebound by the Celtics. Porzingis has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Here's White. Tatum passes to White. Outside Holiday. And so Boston again turning it over.
Sixers ball.
.12 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Oubre, no one around him. Another miss by Philadelphia. Right side, White. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. 76ers ahead. They lead by... And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And, you know, you can always count on him for at least a couple of these pretty assists over the course of the game. And this one, a thing of beauty.
You know a thing or two about a point guard's job. Set the table for your teammates. Done there perfectly.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. On the floor for Boston, Holiday in the backcourt. To his side is White. And in the front court, Brown and Tatum. And it's Porzingis in at the 5 down low. Here's Tatum. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Tatum's got it back down to single digits for Boston.
I mean, if the defender is going to play off like that, then you know what's going to happen. There are going to be points put on the board.
Embiid with the screen on Brown. And plenty of contact on the shot. So, 2 free throws coming up. You've seen, Doris, Paul George's journey from role player to MVP candidate.
There's a reason, Kevin, Paul George is one of the most emulated players in the league with young people. His game is so well-rounded, and maybe his best attribute is his adaptability. Paul George is equally comfortable either being the lead man or, if need be, he can play with 2 or 3 other stars and still be effective. Really incredible. Well, Drew Holiday just so strong with the basketball. Very hard to knock this guy off his course.
Maxey looking it over. Pass to Oubre. Missed inside.
I'll tell you, despite his struggles at the offensive end, this team still finds themselves in control of the ball game.
And he's got it all working for him tonight. Holiday's effort level and energy are off the chart.
Maxey against Holiday. Buries it down low. And the 76ers lead by 8.
Well, there's an unpredictability to his offensive game. He is always keeping the defense off balance.
Pass to White. Holiday against Maxey. Outside Tatum. Off target from three-point range. The 76ers leading by 8. Oubre outside. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation.
Celtics ball.
For Boston, they've gone an outstanding 4 of 5 from the field in the fourth quarter so far. For those just joining us, fourth quarter here, we're just over 2.5 minutes into it. A nice shot by Embiid. And look at how the hustle game has been going for Philadelphia.
And they've shown great focus on the defensive end, putting constant pressure on the ball and really disrupted in terms of what they've done defensively.
And another theme in this game, to me, guys, has been how lethal they've been in transition. Attack on the break and make sure you convert.
White, wide open, he fires. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
The real come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
And you would expect nothing less from these two, taking pride and making plays.
Here's George. Softly drops in the floater.
Boy, how pure a shooter is Paul George. That form is simply on point.
Holiday dishes to Tatum. Out to Porzingis from the arc. And again, Boston with the triple.
And you can feel the excitement in the building. Both of these teams pouring it on.
There's been a bit of a flurry here late, and this game may come down to which side gets a stop or two.
Here's White. Lays it in off the breakaway. And now just a 5-point Philadelphia lead.
That's what you call speed, being the difference in transition. Off the steal, Derek White so heads up.
Outside, Maxey. Banked in off the glass. And the 76ers lead by 7.
You can see why they go to this guy so often. More often than not, he's going to be very efficient like he is right here.
And Holiday kicks to Brown. Six to shoot. The Celtics need to get a shot off. One-on-one here. Here's George. And then George with the jam.
Finishing strong. This is how you want to close things out.
No question. They've got hot at exactly the right time. Clutch play on a team level.
Pass to McCain. The tray. George, no good. And here's Tatum. He'll bring it up for the Boston Celtics. They trail by 9 points. Here's White. Drains the three-pointer.
White. 3 points.
19 seconds left in the fourth. And so the 76ers can now just hold on to the ball. 4-3, Oubre. And the 76ers get it back. Outside, Maxey. And the foul on Drew Holiday. That will get him his 4th foul of the game.
4th personal foul. 2nd team foul.
And so here is Philadelphia. So Philadelphia wins it, probably a little closer than they would have liked it, but a win nonetheless.
Yeah, but I really got a sense that
Thank you for that, David. And that'll do it, folks.
But eventually, I'll get there. I'm a tiger on the loose, I'm a menace in the booth, I'm the medicine you're afraid to take. I'm the gasoline and nut and the devil in your gut that you're fighting just to keep it fake. Kinda like the view with the dice and me and top down with the rims and gold. So baby, pour me a drink, I'm gonna let out the freak beat back in the pistol. Let him run, let him eat, stone cold killer. Let off the beat. Let him bang on the streets like Godzilla. Let him eat, stone
attention is drawn to the front court matchup.
Oh yeah, this should be a battle on the baseline. Great to watch skilled bigs trade blows and show off what they can do down low.
Now let's check out the starters for Brooklyn. Johnson and Claxton patrol the middle. Johnson is out there with Cameron Thomas. And it's Williams in at the 3 spot. Brooklyn with the ball. Johnson a screen on Oubre. Thomas passes to Johnson. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And the layup is good off the glass.
Nice way to start the game. That's where you'd like to get your shots from.
Maxey surveys. Driving in. And down it goes. Jam that one home.
Turning on the Jets, Maxey found a lane and made them pay.
All right, Grant, when you look at the Nets rebuild, what are you seeing at this point?
Well, they gave up a lot of young players to draft picks to assemble a big three. And, of course, that didn't quite work out. So now they're in that middle ground, which sometimes can be a little tough. Add to the fact that they're in New York, the fans and media are anything but patient and forgiving.
So it's Philadelphia now, following the bucket by the Nets. Maxey, that's good.
I like everything he's doing so far offensively, finding his spots, making strong selections.
Embiid against Johnson. Williams a screen on Embiid. Johnson with a bucket.
The calling card of Johnson, his J. It's why Cam was a lottery pick. It's why he's such a quality NBA player.
Here's Maxey. Over to the wing. Pass to Embiid. And Embiid throws it down.
And one move ahead of the defense. A solid pick.
And then the monster dunk to complete the play. Well done.
Great chemistry on display. He understood where to put the screen in order to free up his teammate.
Here's Thomas. Philadelphia getting their last shot to go. And he comes up with a bucket.
Wow, now this is how you want to start your games. Flawless shooting so far.
Here's George. And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes play. Pass to Drummond. Outside Oubre. Shoots over Johnson. Oubre can't hit.
Can't blame him. Just trying to take what the defense allows.
Outside, Williams. Claxton a screen on Oubre. Here's Claxton. Hey, from beyond the arc. It's rebounded by George. How about Nick Claxton? You'd be hard-pressed to find a more versatile defender.
He's come so far in that area since he came into the league. He's become an elite defender. There isn't a position on the floor he can't guard.
Outside Johnson. Johnson a screen on George. The kick out to Johnson. Buries it from 3. Johnson's got 8.
Beautiful stroke from Johnson, even on the quick shot.
George feels it out a bit. Going inside, and the jam by George.
Great job on the back end of the play.
Yep, finished with both hands, making sure of it. From deep, Johnson. Rebound by the 76ers. Now here's Drummond. No points so far. 54 seconds left to play in the first. Maxey. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws.
That's his first.
Cam Thomas picks one up.
Maxey puts a lot of pressure on the defense. Sometimes he can force them to foul.
Talking about Tyrese Maxey, Grant, here's a guy who's improved every year.
Yeah, B.A. I mean, from averaging 8 as a rookie to 26 points during his breakout 4th year, Maxey has added to his game every offseason and turned himself into an elite scorer. I'll tell you, he is so tough to keep down once he gets near that rim.
Yeah, he can get up even a few notches higher. Now here's Maxey. He's got 5. Got it.
And force feeding the ball inside. I mean, no reason to go away from what's working.
The Nets have got 6 of 8 shots to go. Thomas drives in. Outside Johnson. He's got it. 4 for 4 now. He's automatic.
Talk about putting a team on your back. He has been dominant this quarter, and I don't think they are winning without him.
George against Williams. George with the bucket. George has got 6.
And once more this half, they find a way to get great position inside.
And here's Thomas from the arc. Oh, he got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And so it's Cameron Johnson making things happen for Brooklyn. And getting it going again here in the second quarter. Fairly close game so far. All right, what stands out to you from the Nets in this one?
Well, it's simple. I mean, they started off strong, and they've been hot from beyond the arc since the get-go.
And as long as the threes are dropping, you've got to keep launching them.
On the floor for Brooklyn, Johnson and Claxton patrol the middle. Cam Thomas out there with Johnson. And it's Williams in at the 3, the small forward.
Quality pass by Thomas. He was paying attention out there.
Now here's George. Pass to Maxey. Kicks it to George. And the jam by George!
George's athleticism has always been a strength. Not many guys can pull off that dunk.
We know how great Joel Embiid is, but he simply hasn't been as effective in the postseason.
Part of that is because of all the defensive attention he gets. We know things tighten up in the postseason and things become much more challenging. That's why he needs a better supporting cast.
A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Nick Claxton, despite his relatively slender frame, is a hard-nosed defender. He said, I bow down to no one. Every time I step on the court, I always have that chip on my shoulder. That's just the fiery competitor that I am. At the end of the day, I know what I'll hang my hat on, the defensive side of the ball. Brian?
Okay, Allie, thanks for that. And what a breakout 4th year for Tyrese Maxey. Named to his first All-Star game in 2024, Richard.
When the Sixers traded away James Harden, it really opened up things for Maxey. Gave him the ball more responsibility, and you know what? He showed up.
So it's Philadelphia now, following the bucket by Brooklyn. Outside Maxey. To the inside. Drummond. The kick out to Maxey. Pass to George. Drummond with the screen. And the jam by George!
And you see the creativity George has. Just comfortable operating in screen and rolls and taking what he sees.
Johnson finds Johnson. Thomas a screen on George. A good look from Johnson. The rebound by Maxey.
You got to move past that one. I mean, they want him to take that again.
Yeah, it's a great look for him. One they'll try and manufacture again. Those are the shots you want him to take.
And here's Oubre from the arc. He drops it from range. Oubre's gotten himself going with a triple. His first basket of the game. Thomas against Oubre. The kick out to Williams. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Drummond grabs the miss. The 76ers have gotten 3 of 4 field goals in the second quarter. Outside Oubre. Pass to Drummond. The kick out to Maxey. And the 76ers another 3.
When Maxey is feeling himself, he can really fill up that stat sheet.
Here's Thomas. Lays it up and banks it in. Thomas has got 6.
He's just ridiculous. He is just an absolute surgeon when he has the ball. This man is surgical. There is no way to slow him down when he wants to score.
Now here's Embiid. Maxey passes to Embiid. It's stolen by Johnson. Fast break, Brooklyn. Oh, and Johnson slams it in.
Got to give him credit for jumping on the ball and making the most at the other end.
Boy, inexcusable at this point of the game. They got to be more composed in these moments.
important 2 points, not just on the scoreboard, but also for a little bit of momentum.
Here's Maxey following the bucket by the Nets. Misfires there. 4 for 6 in the game now. 1:15 left in the half. From deep, Johnson. Rebound by Philadelphia. The last time these two clubs came together was also in this building, with an unfortunate ending for the home team.
And it was an entertaining game, but hard to win when you're inconsistent.
Now here's Maxey. 12 points for him. Gets stolen by Johnson. Jacks up a 3. The shot by Johnson, no good. For Philadelphia, they've gone 4 for 7 in the second quarter. George passes to Embiid. Oh, misses the dunk. The Nets have gotten over 50% of their shots to go. 5 for 9 in the second. Williams finds Thomas. Lets a floater go. Here's Claxton. And Claxton throws it down.
And their offensive rebounding is such a strength for them when he's on the floor.
Yeah, he really helps them extend possessions, doesn't he?
Yeah, you can feel Coach smiling on the sidelines with every offensive board.
Impressive one-hand slam right there, B.A.
Man, as long as he's confident about it, I'm good with it. Maybe use 2 hands next time. He knows where he is. Outside Johnson. No good. Would have counted had it gone. It's all tied in Philadelphia. And we'll be right back after halftime for the start of the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
When I look at the Nets, like most teams right now, they're optimistic. We'll see how they handle the first couple of games.
Yeah, everyone. And a look back now at the first half, as the Sixers have a tight game on their hands.
We often talk about efficiency on offense. They were the...
Thanks for tuning in.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple of quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. Without question, Tyrese Maxey displaying all his skills today.
Yeah, tonight, he's done a great job of slashing through the lane and finishing.
And you love that mindset he has going at the rim. He hasn't settled for anything, and he's been the aggressor all game long.
They've got Eric Gordon. He's out there with Kyle Lowry, and it's Yabusele in at the power forward position. That's the group in the game for the 76ers. Now here's Gordon. All right, Grant, give it to us straight here. What's the deal with star treatment in the NBA, you think?
Star treatment? What is that, B.A.? No, I think some players have a reputation which might help them on 50-50 calls. And you could argue that some players have a reputation that hinders them on the 50-50 calls. So it really just all depends.
Here's Bona. Lowry surveys the D. Outside Edwards. There's a screen. Down low. Here's Bona. The kick out to Edwards. Late clock. The Sixers need to put one up here. Pass to Whitehead. And stolen by Edwards. With the drive.
And that's what happens when you don't take care of the ball.
Hey, that makes the turnover hurt even more.
We know mistakes lead to breaks. That's just textbook right there.
Here's Russell, and the foul is called. He missed it, so he's got a couple of free throws coming his way. And the Nets, one of a handful of franchises to have never won an NBA title.
I was fortunate to be on those Nets finals teams in 2002 and 2003. The combination of Durant, Harden, and Irving was supposed to end that drought and save this Nets franchise, but it was not to be.
Now here's Lowry. Still no points. It's deflected. Here's Whitehead, defended by Gordon. Tipped. Lowry outside. Inside. It's stolen. Here's Clowney. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by in the third quarter. Out to the wing. Here's Whitehead. Brooklyn, no good that time either.
Rough start to the second half for them, only getting one of the past 4 shots to fall.
Up top, Edwards. Guarded by Russell.
Back to the basics, unleashing the one-hand flush.
Boy, he makes the basics look pretty outstanding, though, huh?
That's true.
Russell, the pass to Whitehead. Back to Russell. Over Edwards. The shot by Russell, no good. For Philadelphia, they've gone 3 of 5 from the field in this third quarter. Shot is good by Edwards. And the 76ers lead by 4.
Used the pick to perfection and got all the way to the rim.
And it's in there. Russell's got 6 in the quarter.
Just willing that one in. That's a tough shot there by Russell.
Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. Shot is good by Gordon.
That's 10 straight points they've given up in the painted area.
Nets trail by 4. Russell with the ball. He's got 6. Pass to Whitehead. Russell against Lowry. 6 on the shot clock. And then Russell with the dunk.
And you have to love it. The floor general taking things into his own hands.
Just the aggression they're looking for, man.
No doubt. That's the kind of play that can energize the whole team, and they will take it in a close game like this.
Oh, and he got fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
That's his first.
Well, since we have this break, here are the teams with the most points off turnovers last season. The Sixers, 3rd.
It seemed like almost every time they forced an error, they converted on it. Not just winning turnovers, but taking them to the bank.
Despite Joel Embiid missing more than half of their games, Grant, the Sixers still won 47 games last season.
Yeah, B.A., and lots of credit goes to Tyrese Maxey, averaging over 26 points a game. Philadelphia also had some good depth, and that really helped. And plays like that one can make the difference in a close game.
And it definitely got the bench on their feet, too.
And you can feel the jolt of energy that he sent through his team. That is a huge boost in a tight game like this.
Assertive move. You can tell the game's heating up a bit.
And he'll be shooting his first free throw. You know, Grant, with the Nets, there was so much optimism just a few years back.
And it was just too bad to see things go south. It's a reminder that nothing is as easy as it seems in the NBA. Even with a superstar roster, things don't always work out.
Now here's Russell. Give him 8. Launches it. Nails it from 3.
There are the point guard skills of Russell. When he's sharing the rock, this offense runs so much smoother.
Russell against Lowry. Pass to Bona. And he jams it home with authority.
He gives up a bit of size at the center position, but his leaping ability, well, let's just say that makes up for it.
And we've reached the end of the third quarter. Just a terrific game thus far. And while we have a chance, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
Talk about painting a magnificent picture with that dive. Just a great decision and a perfect delivery.
A lot of times a spectacular pass is more impressive than a spectacular shot. This is one of those times.
3 tense quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we get ready for the 4th. On the floor for the Nets, Johnson and Claxton control the middle. Johnson is out there with Cameron Thomas. And it's Williams in at the small forward. Outside Johnson. No good there. Excellent D there from Embiid.
Gotta love how they've been crashing the boards, fighting hard for every miss.
Well, Grant, you often hear about how smooth Paul George's game is.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. Young players can learn a lot by watching his footwork. His timing, his ability to find the space he needs, it's just tremendous.
And the timeout called here by Jordi Fernandez. Coach clearly has something he wants to say to his team right now. And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
Well, over the break, I listened in on Jordi Fernandez's huddle. He told his guys to up their aggressiveness on the defensive end, saying this game is all about who can get stops right now. I need you guys to bring some more energy on defense. That's how.
And they're not happy with the call here. Coach has given the signal. He's going to use his challenge. Probably a good idea in such a close contest.
People were worried that this was slow the
The play is under video review, under NBA rule.
to adopt this challenge policy in 2019.
You know, one thing this does for a coach is let his players know he's got their back. If they're adamant that the call was wrong, he'll back them up and make the refs take another look. So they see clear evidence of a bad call, and they're going to overturn it. Probably the right decision.
And give credit to the officials for recognizing the mistake and correcting it. Nobody likes to say they got it wrong, but they fixed it in a hurry.
Maxey passes to George.
Next foul. Keon Johnson. That's his first personal foul. Second team foul.
1 minute in now in the fourth quarter. Drummond to screen on Thomas. Maxey passes to Drummond. Nice assist and nice finish. Solid play all the way around. And the 76ers lead by 7. Here's Thomas. It's tipped.
I'll tell you what, they've been aggressive and they've been physical.
To the middle. Here's Drummond. Back to Maxey. And stolen by Williams. Here's Johnson. That one goes in.
This is how lethal a scorer Johnson can be. Keep feeding that beast.
George outside. Pass to Embiid. And Embiid fires it home.
Slams it down with 2 hands.
Man, they're really getting aggressive now. And the timeout called here by Jordi Fernandez. He's looking to make some very important adjustments here. Nets trail by 7.
Number 26.
Thomas outside. Johnson against Maxey. The kick out to Johnson. Takes a 3. And the Nets miss again.
And you just can't afford to give up that kind of look very often.
Pass to Maxey. Embiid, a screen on Thomas. Boom! He jams it straight down.
I'll tell you, when Maxey gets into his rhythm, he can go all night long.
Here's Johnson. And it's good. 2 points.
This has been the story of the game. A battle fought on offense.
Yeah, but I think it's going to come down to who can get the stops down the stretch, because that's who's going to come away with this one.
Maxey against Thomas. Maxey passes to Embiid. Back to Maxey. Clock at 4. Claxton with a rebound. Nets trail by 7. And there's the foul. It's on Joel Embiid. That's his first foul of the game.
Personal foul. First team foul.
Thomas against Maxey. The kick out to Johnson. Back to Thomas. Clock at 2. Unloads from 13. Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's got 6 rebounds in the game. Oubre with it. Claxton picks him up. Kept alive. The kick out to Maxey. Ooh, he's found his rhythm. 7 for 10 and counting.
A physical scoring guard. Maxey is at home on the inside.
Drummond against Johnson. Here's Claxton. No good from outside. Philadelphia leading by 9. George passes to Embiid. 55 seconds left in the game. And Embiid throws it down.
And this is a game they can build off of. They kept their focus all game long, and it will get marked as a win for the 76ers.
And, of course, they really dominated in the paint tonight.
They obviously came in looking to impose their will, attack the heart and soul of that defense, and it led to a lot of good looks.
And so this win marks their first victory of the new year. And of all the highlights and performances we've seen here tonight, the one thing that stands out is what an unbelievable night it's been for Tyrese Maxey.
And he's been a well-oiled machine on offense, keeping things simple in this end, getting the looks that he wanted, knocking him down.
2 seconds separating the shot clock and the game clock. Pass to Embiid. Now George. Puts up a deep 3. The offensive rebound. And so it's Philadelphia with the W. A clean win, and one where they clearly showed better energy.
Yeah, so true. They put on a show here at home, and I really think they had that extra swagger and confidence, too.
All right, Allie, thank you. And that about wraps it up. For Grant Hill, Richard Jefferson, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian.
in Game 1 of the NBA season. How does opening night feel different from the rest of the season, the rest of the schedule?
Well, Kevin, it's the excitement of the unknown. Everybody comes in with the highest of expectations, right? You got new teammates, some new wrinkles, still a lot to figure out and shake out over the course of a long season.
So the Nets starting 5. Down on the block, it's Johnson with Claxton. Johnson is out there with Thomas, and it's Williams at the 3.
And guys, it's no easy task defending Tatum inside. You can body him up, bump him, he'll still find a way.
And it's out of bounds. The Celtics will take it the other way.
I don't know what the heck happened there. That's just a careless turnover.
Here's Boston now. Holiday, the pass to Brown. Boston getting another chance here. It's White on the wing, covered by Johnson. And the rejection by Claxton. On the wing, Johnson leaps for it. Porzingis with the steal. Tatum with it. And it's Johnson picking him up. Holiday goes in. Here's Porzingis. It's hauled in by Claxton.
Wow. Missed the easy one right there, right at the rim, but came up in.
Dan, you talk about a stacked roster. It's hard to find many weaknesses for the Celtics.
Yeah, Kevin, there's a reason the Executive of the Year award went to Boston's front office last season. The Celtics are built right, and they're built to last.
Now here's White. They really needed more from him in that loss to New York. Mr. Porzingis gets the jumper from the corner to fall.
Well, hey, you set Porzingis up, and he'll knock him down. Terrific off the catch.
Here's Johnson, and the slam dunk by Johnson.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand, and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. And the basket is good.
What a great take by Holiday. Saw a path to the rim and took it.
Thomas down low, guarded by Holiday. And then Thomas with the dunk.
I'd say that shot is well within his range.
I would hope so. Out to Porzingis. White up top. It's up a 3. Rebounded by the Nets.
And even with good coverage defensively that time, he has confidence to drill the 3.
Johnson's shot is off.
Well, when they're playing off you, you have to make them pay. And he couldn't.
Out to Porzingis. Lets the 3 fly. And he's good on the 3 ball. Porzingis has got 5.
Come on. Players as tall as Porzingis, they aren't supposed to shoot it like that.
Johnson against White. Tipped away and taken away by Brown. White dishes to Tatum. The shot, no good.
I mean, that can happen to anyone, but it's ugly every time it does.
Yeah, that's one he'd like to have back. Those are the opportunities you have to convert.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
Well, when you are the aggressor this early, it is intimidating.
Thomas with the block. Tatum against Johnson. Pass to Johnson. Good, and it's Johnson with the assist that time.
That's just a great pass. Excellent vision to see the open spot in the defense and lead him to the score.
Holiday looking over the floor. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
Such a strong guard, Drew Holiday, finishing through contact.
Boston shooting their first free throw of the game. And one of the most respected players in the NBA is Drew Holiday.
Yeah, Kevin, he's a 3-time Teammate of the Year award winner. He's also a Sportsmanship award winner. He is a pro's pro.
Now here's White. He has yet to score. Down low, Porzingis out to White. Clock at 6. Up and in on the layup.
I like that from White. Attacking the heart of that defense.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. And the foul on Drew Holiday. That is his first foul of the game.
Personal foul. First team foul.
Johnson against White. Johnson kicks to Williams. Back to Johnson. Shot clock at 6. Williams, a screen on White. Linnets need to get a shot off here. Taken away by Holiday.
And you've got to do a better job of making sure the defender isn't in your space. I mean, if you're going to pump fake, you've got to make sure he doesn't have a chance for the steal.
And so, and thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1/4 of action so far. Let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Celtics.
Well, I like how they're going right at the defense, creating high-quality looks with that penetration.
And the other thing I've been impressed with, guys, is their assertiveness at attacking the paint, trying to hunt for those high percentage looks.
White in at shooting guard, with Brown playing small forward. The post pair, Tatum and Porzingis. And it's Holiday in at the 1 spot. That's the Boston 5.
What a move by Tatum, finishing strong at the rim.
Brooklyn with the ball, following the bucket by the Celtics. Johnson the pass to Thomas. Johnson outside. That's in there. Thomas with the assist. Johnson's got 5 now.
Well, when you have a scorer as skilled as he is, you do everything you can to get him the looks he needs.
A wide open look here for Porzingis, and they wasted no time getting those 3 points back.
Well, I love the response by Porzingis. Terrific work coming back with his own triple.
Johnson sets the screen for Thomas. Going inside, and then Thomas with the dunk.
Never a bad idea to run the old pick play.
You're right. And if it produces a slam like that, we'll probably see more of them.
Yeah, defensive breakdown there. Gotta communicate and switch that screen.
And Holiday's nimbleness gets him to the hoop on that one. His athletic ability is off the charts.
The recent history of the Nets. Greg, they're always looking for a big splash or a quick fix to be competitive.
And Kevin, this franchise has sold its future more than a few times, but they always find a way to bounce back. You hope they don't go for a quick fix with this group.
You know, Stan, when I think of you as a coach, I think defense. So let me put you on the spot as you assess the wing defenders in the NBA right now. Who are some of the top 2 or 3 that you notice?
Well, look, there's so many good ones. My favorite right now is Lou Dort because he's so strong, he's so disciplined, and he has an amazing ability to use his body even against guys that are a lot taller. He is a frustrating guy for great scorers to play against.
Now, he brought a lot to the NBA, but haven't the Thunder done a good job developing that kid?
Well, they have, and look, they've got other great defenders too, like Jalen Williams.
And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. Well, there's plenty of scorers on the Celtics, but Jason Tatum says, I'm going to get my shots. It's just about trusting the process. From experience, I understand that I'm good enough that I can relax and defer a little bit. Then in the fourth, I can score 20 in the quarter. Kevin? Sounds like he's figured it all out.
Thank you so much. You know, he can take over at any time, and it's fun to watch. DA, we thank you for that. And Stan, as he enters his prime, Jason Tatum is shooting to become the face of the NBA.
Yeah, and Kevin, he knows winning.
Folks, the coach's challenge has been initiated for a personal foul. Close game like this, and he thought it wasn't a good call.
Shooting for Brooklyn, Keon Johnson.
And I think when it comes
the line for 2. The play is under video review under NBA rules.
It's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able to have a challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
And that one falls for Johnson. So he gets them both.
And didn't have a single free throw in that first quarter, but he started to play with a little bit more of an edge to his game here in the second.
Here's Holiday. He gets it in there. Holiday's got 9.
A much better quarter for them shooting the ball.
And we got a timeout here called by Jordi Fernandez. He wants to make some adjustments to the game plan, clearly. Just a quick look now at how the point totals have looked over the last several months for Trendon Watford.
And it's really been a nice trend for him over these last several months. He's been steadily improving in terms of his scoring output. That extra production making him more valuable the further we get along in this season.
Johnson attacking. And the rejection by Tatum.
And there's Tatum's length showing up at the defensive end. What a play.
Porzingis with the steal, and so it looks like the Celtics will retain possession here. For the Nets, they come into this one following the loss to New York.
2 minutes.
Holiday, the pass to Porzingis.
Next foul, Zaire Williams. First personal foul, second team foul.
There's 1:54 left in the first half of basketball. And Holiday, here we go. Tatum wide open, he fires one. It's good, the assist that time from Holiday. Holiday's got 3 assists now in this one. Since moving back to Brooklyn in 2012, the Nets, Greg, have won just 2 playoff series.
Just think about the all-stars they've had. KG, Pierce, Durant, Kyrie, Harden. I could name more. The Nets just haven't been able to put it together.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that, that's your only option.
He's off on the first.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. Holiday against Thomas. Holiday gets the bucket.
This strong shooting has really helped them secure this lead.
Nets trail by 7 and taken away by Brown. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by White. Let's pause to take a look at the teams that really made their opposing teams earn their points a season ago. 5th on the list, the Celtics.
I mean, they held opponents to so few points that it allowed them to win games even when their offense wasn't clicking.
Johnson with a screen on Holiday. Here's Thomas, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. Cam Thomas was the 27th pick in the 2021 NBA Draft GA. I think a lot of teams, wouldn't you agree, are regretting passing on.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to believe that he fell all the way to the end of the first round. Lots of teams would love to have a scorer like him on their roster.
The kick out to Tatum. Back to Holiday. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Yeah, you got to be careful how you guard Holiday because he's skilled at finding ways to get to the line.
Both free throws good from Holiday.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
Johnson outside. Williams has a screen for Johnson. 34 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. 6 on the shot clock. And the rejection by Tatum.
And look at Tatum turning up the defensive intensity, outworking the shooter.
Outside Holiday. Porzingis with a screen on Thomas. Busted. No good that time either. Johnson outside. Got it up. And the last second attempt does not go in for him. That'll do it for the first half. Celtics lead by 7. Thank you, David, for that interview. And we'll see you back here after the break. Third quarter basketball.
They've been patient, not allowing the other teams to speed them up, just making the plays that are there.
Yeah, protecting the lead by taking a peek now at the upcoming schedule. Thanks for joining us.
And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books, 1 half to go. An exceptional performance from Drew Holiday.
Yeah, it's been a great performance from him, really staying focused on quality shots.
Yeah, he's found his spots, been patient with his shot selection, and it's paid off for himself and the team.
Starting off the second half, here's Jordy Fernandez's 5. We've got Russell. He's out there with the Anthony Melton. And it's Clowney in at the 4. Russell with it. And it's Horford picking him up. Here's Clowney. And there's the foul. It's on Peyton Pritchard. That's his first foul. You know, Stan, it sometimes seems that coaches get themselves ejected on purpose to fire up their team. Am I on the right track there or not?
Well, Kevin, certainly it happens with some guys. There have certainly been guys, Jerry Sloan, Don Nelson, who would do some of that.
How about you? How about you?
Now, Kevin, you know me. All I always ever tried to do was help the referees because we all just want to get to the right call, and I could help them.
You did all the time.
As much as I could, but they were not receptive.
Pass to Clowney. There's a screen. And it's denied. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Nets will retain possession. The drive by Russell. Down to 5 on the shot clock. An easy 2 points on the layup. Russell's got his first basket.
An active competitor, Russell won't go down without a fight, especially around the rim.
Here's Pritchard. He's guarded by Russell. Horford with a screen on Melton. Pass to Horford. Out to the right wing. There's the triple. A shot by Pritchard, no good. And here's Melton. He'll bring it up for the Brooklyn Nets. They trail by 9 points. The Nets working the ball around now. For 3. And Boston with the rebound.
And with that miss, they're just 1 for 4 to start the third quarter.
Here's Pritchard. He's guarded by Melton. Pritchard passes to Cornette. Here's Pritchard. The Celtics need to get a shot off. Kept alive. Here's Craig. Pass to Hauser. Goes up again. And they finally get it to go. A full night's work on the boards in 1 trip down the floor.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Here's Melton. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Never a bad idea to run the old pick play.
You're right. And if it produces a slam like that, we'll probably see more of them.
Yeah, defensive breakdown there. Gotta communicate and switch that screen.
Here's Pritchard. Off target with his three. Nets trail by 9. It's Russell with the drive. Bucket is good.
And that's what the pump fake's there for. Get your man off his feet and drive right around him.
For Boston, they've gone 3 of 8 so far in the third quarter, looking to lock in that rhythm. Here's Cornette. Pass to Pritchard. Horford with the screen on Russell. Makes it off the glass.
Well, credit the screen there, springing him loose for the finish.
Here's Whitehead. Craig defending. 51 seconds left in the third. Outside, Russell from deep. Rebounded by Hauser. Celtics leading by 9. Picked by Horford. Hauser the pass to Craig. Pass to Horford. Brooklyn with the rebound. Lays it up off the glass.
Well, when you move the ball, you open up the defense. Great job to make the unselfish play.
Cornette passes to Pritchard. And so it's the Boston Celtics heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the floor generalship right here? I mean, showing us why they're always in good hands when he's the man in charge.
Well, he really just helps tie this team together. They know they can count on him to set them up.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this fourth and final quarter. The small and power forwards, the star pair of Brown and Tatum. Holiday in the backcourt. To his side is White. And it's Porzingis in at the 5, down low. Max is in the game for the Celtics. Celtics leading by 7. Tatum finds Brown. Back to Tatum. Porzingis sets the pick for Tatum. Outside, Porzingis. A three-pointer off the mark.
Finding space on the perimeter, but he couldn't capitalize.
And his competitiveness showing through. That's an aggressive finish.
Yeah, and getting out in transition allows for some easy points before that defense is fully set.
And here's Holiday. To the left side wing. Porzingis with a screen on Thomas. Holiday, the pass to Porzingis. It's hauled in by Claxton. Claxton's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute play. Claxton, a screen on White. Back to Claxton. 6 to shoot. And that one drops for him. Claxton's got 5 points now in the quarter.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Good. And the Celtics lead by 4.
Well, when Holiday is affecting the game on the offensive end, it's a real lift for his team.
And the foul on Drew Holiday. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
Second team foul.
Thomas down low. White's there. That's good from Thomas on the assist by Claxton.
And you want him taking big shots for you in big moments. That one was as easy as it gets.
Well, with him, he's dangerous because he's so confident. He wants to deliver in these moments.
Brown sets a screen for Tatum. Just 4 to shoot. On the wing, Johnson. White covering. Johnson with a screen on White. Johnson finds Johnson. And he commits the intentional foul.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Third team foul.
Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. To tie it up. And Johnson lays it in. Johnson's got the game tied up here for the Nets.
And the D not really doing its job there. A little slow to react to the ball getting into the paint.
For Brooklyn, they've gone an outstanding 4 of 5 from the field in the fourth quarter so far. Kicks it out to Johnson. To take the lead. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. Johnson's got the lead up to 2 now for the Nets. Holiday with it. Out to Porzingis. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday.
Well, you see the trust they have in Porzingis. Timely basket.
Thomas against Holiday. Claxton the pass to Thomas. A slam dunk by Thomas.
Go into the rack with energy. And the D afraid to cut him off.
Yeah, got to chalk that one up to some shaky defending.
And with the score as close as it is, these are the opportunities you truly can't allow.
And here are the Nets. They're on a 13-4 run. Tatum against Johnson. To Claxton. On the wing, Johnson. It falls!
That is world class.
Yeah, and I can say from experience, his coach just breathed a huge sigh of relief.
Holiday against Thomas. White looking around. The tray. Got it! And that shot brings them to within just 1.
Well, for obvious reasons, this coaching staff has a lot of confidence in White running the pick and roll.
They get a hand on it. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. White against Johnson. Pocket 6. Here's Williams. Money!
And they've got a foul to give here if they need it.
And so it's Holiday with it. They'll bring it up for Boston. Outside Tatum. And that's an intentional foul.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
First team foul.
9 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Back to Holiday. Outside, White. Shoots over Johnson. Misses there. And so it's Brooklyn who scrapes by with the win. They break the hearts of every fan in the building with a dramatic late victory.
But eventually, I'll get there. I'm a tiger on the loose, I'm a menace in the booth, I'm the medicine you're afraid to take. I'm the gasoline and nut and the devil in your gut that you're fighting just to keep it baked. Kinda like the view with the dice in the mid, top down with the rims and gold. So baby, pour me a drink, I'm gonna let out the freak beat back. Let him run, let him eat, stone cold killer. Let off the beat. Let him bang on the streets like Godzilla. Let him eat, stone cold killer. Let off the beat. Let him bang on the streets like Godzilla.
Defense looking for answers.
of a brand new season. So many possibilities.
Well, you know, BA, for the players, you're excited and relieved at the same time. You get to see all the hard work you put in during the offseason pay off.
A look at the 76ers starting group. George out there with Maxey. Then it's Joel Embiid. Then there's Kelly Oubre. And it's Drummond in at the power forward.
Hey, one thing about Maxey, he was just born to score. This guy is a bucket getter.
Tatum, a screen on Maxey. Holiday drives in. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Now Philadelphia with it. Maxey with it. The shot misses. Some solid defense from Holiday. A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
I caught up with Coach Joe Mazzulla. I asked him what he told his team in regards to how to guard Paul George tonight. He told me Paul is a tremendous player. I told our guys that when he's attacking, we need to help one another out. It has to be a team effort defending him. So it sounds like he'll be sending plenty of defenders PG-13's way.
Thank you for that, Allie. Here's Drummond after the basket by Boston. One thing you can say about Boston, Grant, they know how to put a team together.
Yeah, the Celtics' consistency of winning is just impressive, both now and throughout their entire history. They are really the gold standard in this league, and it's mostly because of great draft picks and great trades.
You know, in the case of Drew Holiday, having two brothers in the league, I think probably has added motivation for him to excel.
He's making the most of every trip to the line, providing for his team.
Now here's Maxey to the paint. Here's Embiid. Hey, hangs in midair and converts the double clutch layup.
Inside, Embiid has almost too many options. A lot of ways he can get it done.
Holiday against Maxey. Tatum inside. Pass to Porzingis. Stolen by Drummond. Here we go. The Sixers on the break. Here's George. And George with the jam.
And George really good at recognizing his fast break opportunities and torching the defense with his speed and athleticism in transition.
Holiday finds White. And the call will be against Kelly Oubre. That's his first foul of the game.
First personal foul. Second team foul.
Outside Tatum. Pass to Brown. Outside Holiday. Outside White. Just 5 on the clock. And Embiid with the block.
Don't test Embiid now. An impact defensive player is what he is.
The 76ers have gone 3 of 5 here in the opening quarter. And Drew Holiday gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul of the game.
Personal foul. First team foul.
Maxey against Holiday. Embiid, a screen on Holiday. And Embiid throws it down.
Dropping the hammer. That's why Embiid looks to get deep inside position.
And you watch Tyrese Maxey, Clark. He's so good at creating offense.
Yeah, he can get that thing rack to rack downhill in a heartbeat, BA. In the break and in the pick and roll, he puts tons of pressure on the defense because he's so quick. And he knows how to use angles, too. And he can shoot it from deep, so he's got the full package. Holiday really is a soft-spoken guy on and off the court. Leads by example, is extremely reliable and talented, and his teammates have great respect for him because of it.
Now here's Drummond. Here's George. It's hauled in by White. Outside, Brown. Here's Tatum. Pass to Porzingis. 1:33 left in the first. Knocked loose.
Excellent use of his physical gifts. Goes up strong and captures the board.
Maxey attacking. And down it goes. Jam that one home.
Just way too fast for him. Maxey, quick on the drive.
Here's Holiday. Great start so far, 3 of 3 in this one.
And he gives up some size inside, but makes a great adjustment on the finish.
Yeah, you know, with that size difference, that's not an easy shot. I mean, I don't care how close to the rim he is, that's a tough shot.
Now here's Maxey. Back to George. 6 to shoot. And there's a whistle. He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
I like the intensity that George plays with down inside. It's really what earns him a lot of these calls.
Clark, the Sixers have been at least 10 games over 500 for 7 straight seasons now.
Yeah, and that's great to see after, what was it called? The process that took them all the way to the very depths of the league to finally build themselves back into a consistent playoff team. And their fans certainly deserve good times for struggling through all of those bad times several years ago.
They're finding ways to get the ball into the paint. 5 consecutive buckets.
And on the flip side, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
And he drives in. Here's Embiid. And he gets the bucket. Embiid's got 6.
You got to appreciate the consistency. Night in and night out, he brings it.
The baseline J is on the way. The shot, no good. And that does it for the first quarter. Philadelphia on top, up 5. If you're just joining us, we played through 1 quarter in this one. All right, guys, what's your take on the Sixers so far?
Well, their offense is clicking so far, capturing the momentum here early on.
Yeah, you know, I agree. No warm-up needed. They came in on fire and have already built a nice lead.
Taking a look at Philadelphia. Kelly Oubre out there with Andre Drummond. Then it's Maxey. Then it's Joel Embiid. And it's George in a shooting guard. Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Joel Embiid is setting records with his scoring. He said, when I get stuck into just being a scorer, that's not the best version of me. I like sharing the ball. As you've seen the last couple of years, the teams that have won, they move the ball. Nothing is static. So that's how we should play. Pretty simple, Brian.
Yeah, great understanding, right? Thanks, Allie.
Man, I love how strong Tatum goes to the rack. You give him room to get up, he's banging that thing.
Here's Maxey. And there's the slam. Dunk to finish it off.
I tell you, a little extra pressure on D when you're up against a point guard who can elevate.
It doesn't make it easy, does it?
And you know, guys, showing how dynamic a weapon he is for this offense, they feed off of that energy and ability to make plays. It gets them going.
Now here's Tatum. Puts up a 3. Well, when you look at the forwards in this league, there are a lot more Grant Hill types out there these days, partner.
Well, thank you for the nice words, VA. Of course, I took pride in my overall game. And over the last few decades or so, we've seen a bunch of guys playing the 3, 4, and 5 who can pass, dribble, and shoot. So it's fun to watch the game evolve.
The kick to Tatum. Good. And Brown gets the assist. Tatum's got 5 points now this quarter.
Well, I like how Tatum had his hands up and ready to go on that catch and shoot. Well done.
Second quarter, a little over a minute and a half in. 2 points. That one goes. Maxey's got 12 points.
They're not messing around. 5 of their last 6 buckets have come from the interior.
Holiday passes to Tatum. And Tatum fires one home.
The athletic prowess of Tatum on full display. What a move to the bucket.
You know, Grant, in interviews, Jason Tatum often seems understated and soft-spoken, but that's just him, isn't it?
That's true, B.A. Tatum has a quiet confidence about him. He doesn't feel the need to be loud or act out. He lets his work on the court do all the talking for him.
Not sure why he committed the intentional foul. No purpose.
I think everyone's a little confused, but weird plays happen.
Now here's Maxey. 12 points for him. Pass to Drummond. Out left to the wing. Just 5 to shoot. Late clock. The Sixers need to put one up here. Here's Embiid. Oh, putting in the work. Embiid finishes inside.
defensively, they've got to get more bodies in the paint. That's 3 straight field goals from below the free throw line.
Outside White. There's the triple. Tatum feeling it out a bit. Pass to Porzingis. It's stolen by Drummond. Here we go. The Sixers on the break. And he ends that fast break chance. An intentional foul. That's a textbook example of the transition take foul rule. A chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for the 76ers.
Well, I've liked their assertiveness inside. They've been getting that way and playing that way the whole time, setting the tone right away that the inside area is their territory.
Yeah, and also a great job hustling on turnovers and turning them into points. Defense creating offense so far in this one.
And Porzingis with the block.
When a guy has a 7'6" wingspan like Porzingis does, it's just tough to get away from him or get by him. That allows him to block a lot of shots.
Now here's Tatum. 7 points in the game. And Brown knocking down the triple.
And they're in a better flow this quarter offensively. And their shooting percentage is steadily rising as a result.
And they're starting to heat up is what they're doing. They're on fire. I mean, that's what they need to climb back into this game.
Drummond, the screen on Holiday. Here's Maxey. He can't hit that time. Great D that time from Porzingis.
The battle of the boards has been something to watch.
Yeah, tit for tat on the glass. Just one more aspect of what's been a very closely contested ball game here.
First team foul.
Outside Holiday. No good on the triple. Philadelphia leading by 4. George scanning the floor. Pass to Embiid. Shot clock at 6. Here's George. The 3. Sends it home from three-point land. George has got 6 points.
Smooth and consistent. That's how I describe George's three-point shooting.
Holiday finds Tatum. There's 31 seconds left in the second. Brown with a screen. Porzingis for 3. It's hauled in by Oubre. Philadelphia has gone 1 of 2 from deep in the second quarter. Embiid, a screen on Holiday. And it's Maxey missing.
Despite the miss, those are the kind of looks coaches hope to create.
And finished off by Tatum.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Wow, an emphatic two-handed slam.
I tell you what, if he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will really start shrinking.
George for 3. That misses. Would have counted had it gone. And so a close game as we wrap up the first half of play. Philadelphia on top. Allie, as always, thank you. We'll be right back to begin the third quarter right after this.
The Nuggets will face off against the Thunder in Oklahoma City. That's a 3:30 p.m. tip-off Eastern Time. And circling back to the first half, things have not gone as planned for the Boston Celtics.
How have they kept it?
Thanks for tuning in.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been a fairly even one. Without question, Tyrese Maxey displaying all his skills today.
Through the first 2 quarters, he's been on fire. Explosive offensive performance.
And you know what? I'll be interested to see just how much he's got left in the tank. That first half had to take a lot out of him.
They've got Luke Cornett, Al Horford out there with Torrey Craig. Then there's Peyton Pritchard, and it's Hauser in a 2-guard. And that's the group for Joe Mazzulla as we begin the second half. Pass to Bona. Here's the pick. Counted, and the foul. That's on Al Horford.
The defense couldn't collapse quickly enough.
Philadelphia shooting their 4th attempt at the line tonight.
You know, they would love to post a similar percentage again this season. I mean, I think that's safe to say they'd love to shoot free throws as well as they did a year ago.
Here's Pritchard. Pass to Craig. Here's Cornette. Here's Hauser. Late clock. The Celtics got to hurry here. And they turn it over. Shot clock violation as the buzzer sounds. The Sixers lead by 6. And Clark, this last summer, former Sixer Doug Collins inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, well-deserved honor for Doug. I mean, he's Philly's former #1 overall pick back in 1973, and he played almost a decade there for the Sixers. Also coached the Sixers, among many other teams that he had a chance to coach in the NBA, but clearly an NBA lifer and one of the best guys that's part of the NBA fraternity.
And with a pause in the action, here we have the best rebounding teams from last year. Boston in second.
And they, of course, have a style of play that is all about physicality. I mean, they love to embrace the contact out on the court, but the possession game for them is always pivotal.
And here's Lowry. He'll bring it up for the 76ers. 4-point game. Just over 1.5 minutes have passed in the third quarter. Uses the glass on the layup.
Lowry is a fearless scorer despite his lack of size. He's never one to back away from the trees inside.
And Eric Gordon gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
Second team foul.
Here's Pritchard. He's guarded by Lowry. On the clock. He shoots it.
With his quickness and instincts, Lowry can apply intense pressure as a defender. Not a guy you want on you.
And here's Edwards. Yet to see a basket. Gordon outside. From behind the arc. The rebound, Celtics. Just under 2.5 minutes into this third quarter now. Cornette at the post. He's guarded by Lowry. Here's Horford. Horford gets it done inside.
You know, Horford combines skill and power with experience and smarts. That makes him hard to shut down in the paint.
Boston foul. Peyton Pritchard. First personal foul, second team foul.
Gordon outside. Lets it go from deep. Drops in the 3. Gordon's got his first 3 points of the game.
Love seeing Gordon work in the pick and roll. Great at pulling up to shoot once the screen comes his way.
Here's Pritchard. He's guarded by Lowry. Outside Craig. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. The Sixers lead by 7. Gordon outside. A minute and a half left to play in the third quarter of basketball. Oh, and makes it with the kiss.
Hey, they're just getting pushed around inside.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Soft interior D, and they've exploited it.
For Philadelphia, they've gone 4 of 6 from the floor in this third quarter. Gordon outside. Takes it inside. And Gordon with the big finish.
And Gordon has the burst of speed you like to see in a guard. Excellent at knifing through the defense to the cup.
Left side, Craig. Here's Hauser. Defended by Gordon. Cornette. Pass to Hauser. 5 to shoot. Up and over Gordon. Hauser can't get it to go.
Boy, that's got to be terribly frustrating there. I mean, with the defense not hustling and he still misses, boy, he wishes he had that one back.
Back to Gordon. Takes the 3. On target from range. And now a 12-point 76ers lead.
You know, Gordon has always been a guy who can knock down the 3, and his attempts increased significantly, though, when he headed to Houston, and he is rock solid from deep.
Yes, it's good. Horford's got 8 points in the quarter.
Perfect from the field this quarter. Gotta wonder how long he can sustain it.
Now Lowry. Driving to the basket, and he lays it up and in. Lowry's got his second basket.
And trust me, when the D's slow to react, he'll be the first guy to make them pay.
Boy, the defense looks shell-shocked. I mean, they're on the ropes right now, on their heels.
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. The Sixers on top, up by 12. And time for a short break. Stay right there. The fourth quarter is coming up next. All right, let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
Now, I know he's a big man, but he's got some point guard in him if he's making passes like this.
Hey, that was a high-level pass no matter what position it came from. But it does make it stand out a little more when it's made by the big fella.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. And the 76ers, looking at who they've got. Joel Embiid is out there with Andre Drummond. Then there's Kelly Oubre. Then there's Paul George. And it's Maxey in at the one. Embiid is screen on White. Pass to Drummond. To the middle. And so they foul intentionally.
You don't want to stop the clock right there. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
Tatum with a steal.
Active hands prevented an easy bucket that time.
Oubre against Porzingis. Embiid with a steal. We played just over a minute here in the fourth. Can't hit from in close. Celtics trail by 12. Here's Brown. Man, Brown just showing his toughness inside.
Brown taking on all challengers. This kind of fearless approach is what his teammates and coaches love seeing.
Nice! Big finish! Man!
Defensive foul.
Yeah, you know, George really enjoys being in the air. I mean, this guy has great body control and bounce, and his slams at times can be absolutely sick.
And the Celtics shooting around 50% in the game so far. Holiday from long range. Drummond grabs the miss. Philadelphia leading by 13. Now here's George. Count the basket.
They've been going to him an awful lot this game, and you can see why. He's pouring it on.
Here's Tatum. Throws it down, and the official calls a foul. And they want a second opinion on that call. The signal for the coach's challenge has been made.
The play will be reviewed under NBA rules. There will be 2 minutes to review.
The NBA was smart to adopt this challenge policy in 2019.
You know, one thing this does for a coach is let his players know he's got their back. If they're adamant that the call was wrong, he'll back them up and make the refs take another look. So they see clear evidence of a bad call, and they're going to overturn it. Probably the right decision.
And give credit to the officials for recognizing the mistake and correcting it. Nobody likes to say they got it wrong, but they fixed it in a hurry.
Here's Brown. Oh, JB rattling the rim.
We've come to expect plays like that from Brown. He won't waste any opportunity to throw it down.
Drummond against Porzingis. Maxey on the wing. That one's in there. Drummond with the assist. Maxey's got 5 points now this quarter.
And when it comes to the three, they've been really dialed in here in the second half.
Yeah, you got that right. I mean, you got it real right. They are lighting it up from beyond the arc this half.
Back to Holiday. Down low. It's hauled in by the Sixers. Maxey passes to Embiid. Drummond to screen on White. Here's Embiid. It's hauled in by White. And so it's Holiday who brings up the ball for the Celtics. They trail by 16. From deep. No luck on that one. Philadelphia has gone 4 of 8 from 3, a nice percentage. Oubre passes to George. Outside Maxey. 6 on the shot clock. To the inside. Here's Drummond. Poke loose. It's off his foot. It's being called a kicked ball. We played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Embiid is screen on White. George passes to Embiid. Shot clock at 5. Goes back up. And it's good on the lay-in. And the 76ers lead by 18.
They came out and had a statement win with their performance tonight. A fantastic effort to get it done here for the 76ers.
And they were on fire tonight. Fantastic offensive performance, Grant.
Yeah, B.A., they really shot the ball well. I mean, their coach has to be beyond thrilled with how well they played.
And so this win marks their first victory of the new year. And as it was happening, as it was building, you knew this was a monster game for Tyrese Maxey.
We saw him get a lot of touches tonight, and he wasted very few of them. Really made himself the backbone of their offense.
He got a piece of it.
Oubre putting those long arms to work, manages to get a hand on it.
And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Man, you know what? We'll give them some credit for battling today, but this one is just about over.
Simply delaying the inevitable here. I mean, at this point, even if they miss the free throws, there's not enough time left.
Team foul.
That free throw no good.
The quick-footed, creative Max, he's so much fun to watch. He plays with such boundless energy, and he's still got room to grow.
So it's Boston now. 19-point game. 8-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Kick out to Brown. Outside White. Pass to Holiday. Back to White. Now here's Tatum. To win the drought. There's the drive. Excellent D there from Embiid. So no problem for Philadelphia as they get the win. A state. Allie, thank you as always.
Thank you, everyone.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Allie LaForce, Clark.
Opening day, and what a great day it is. Greg, what are these players feeling as they tip off this new season?
It is always exciting to start a new season. Players are just filled with hope and optimism, especially after putting in all that offseason work.
Now a look at Philadelphia's starting lineup. Joel Embiid out there with Andre Drummond. Then there's Oubre. Then it's Paul George. And it's Maxey in at the point guard. And so it's the 76ers getting on the board first. Thomas, no good. Here's Maxey. And slam dunk by Maxey.
And don't sleep on Maxey's vertical. He's great at using it to hammer those down.
A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Thanks very much. Was able to talk with Jordy Fernandez for a minute. Well, we talked about how difficult a matchup Joel Embiid can be for a defense. Coach told me it's all about not letting him get established down low and making him try to beat us with longer shots. If we do that, I think we'll be fine. Of course, saying it on the sidelines is one thing and doing it on the court, quite another. Guys?
Thanks so much, David. Drummond, and he banks in the lane.
Well, this is where Drummond does the vast majority of his work. He's got a lot of moves in a low post.
Doris, what's the key for a team like the Nets, who have to hit the reset button, so to speak?
I think, Kevin, you have to find consistency at the head coaching position, because then you can set clear and achievable goals for your team going forward. You set a style of play, commit to it, and just build year by year, game by game.
Now, here's Maxey. Now, here's Drummond. Shot clock at 6. Here's Embiid. It's hauled in by Claxton. The Nets have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Johnson against Embiid. And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here.
Jump ball.
So it's Brooklyn now. Timmy into the lane. That shot off the mark. Excellent D there from George.
Boy, having a hard time making shots. Just 1 for 4 to start this game.
Kicks it out to Maxey. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation. The Nets still looking like they're getting going. Trailing by 4. Kicks it out to Johnson. Here's Thomas, and the rejection by Embiid.
He's so agile at 7 feet. Embiid covers a lot of territory.
And the Nets miss again.
Listen, we know the mid-range game is in this guy's arsenal, but you wonder, should he have moved it just 1 pass more?
George, no good.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Pass to Claxton. And Claxton throws it down.
Oh, the athleticism on display. Nick Claxton makes these throwdowns look easy.
Up top, Maxey. He's guarded by Johnson. Embiid sets the pick for Maxey. Rebound, Brooklyn. Their last encounter was in Philadelphia, where they were able to handle the 76ers.
And a really close game between these two in that last matchup. It took a total team effort for them to get the win.
Yeah, I don't think they win without the productivity they got from their bench. That made the difference.
Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. And Thomas has it in the corner. Clock at 4. Over Maxey.
Well, this has not been a quarter to remember for this guy. He looks completely flustered.
DB thinking about Cam Thomas. When he gets on a roll, he is tough to stop.
Kevin, he reminds me a little bit of the microwave Vinnie Johnson back in the days of Detroit. When this guy is hot, get out of his way and let him do his thing.
Brooklyn trailing. Thomas feeling it out a bit. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a three-point play. It's on Kelly Oubre.
This is the strength we talk about when we reference Cam Thomas. It's hard to knock this guy off balance.
Free throw no good for Thomas. The 76ers have gone 3 of 7 from the field since we've gotten underway. Drummond, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. The 76ers shooting their first free throws of the game.
And one of the highlights last year for this group was the fact that they were so efficient from the charity stripe. That's a huge factor.
Boy, one thing you can say about Andre Drummond, he is so steady. Statistically, it's the same story every year.
And Johnson with the stop.
Ooh, put a little extra on that one.
He does. He doesn't usually finish soft either. Obviously, he can when necessary, but not that time. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Good ball movement here by the 76ers. Here's George. And that one, good.
We are talking about a proficient, efficient scorer in Paul George. Go to work, sir.
Thomas sets a screen for Johnson. Sinks the three-pointer. Johnson's got 5 points so far. Here's Maxey. At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Nets out in front, up by 2. And some good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after the first quarter of play. And from Brooklyn guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
I really thought that everything seemed to fall into place for them in that first quarter.
Boy, from the opening tip, they look focused and ready to play. You know, that's really paid off for them to get this early lead.
We've got Thomas, also Johnson out there. Johnson is out there with Nicholas Claxton. That's the Nets 5 as we get into the second quarter. Right on the clock. From outside, off the mark. And so George will bring it up for Philadelphia. Trailing by 2. Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Joel Embiid talks about leading his team. He said, I've been guarded so many different ways. I feel like I've seen everything, and I know how to attack everything. For me, it's all about how do I bring everyone along with me. You can't win alone. It's just about playing together and involving everybody. Kevin?
And you've got to involve everybody. All right, D.A., thanks. Stolen by George. And now Maxey pushing it up, and no one back there to stop him.
And give credit to Maxey for just being aggressive inside, earning that whistle in the process.
The 76ers have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line. And Greg, you think about what they call float game. Why does that one shot earn a nickname like that?
I mean, it's a badge of respect, right? The floaters, teardrops, whatever you call them, runners, often the finishing touch to an already well-developed offensive arsenal.
Beyond the arc, hits it from three-point range.
That's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
The 76ers trail by 4. To the middle. Here's Drummond. Oh, and the jam by Drummond.
Andre Drummond lets the defense know there is nothing to be done with him on that one.
George against Johnson, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That one on Embiid.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Brooklyn shooting their second and third free throws tonight. And Johnson drops them both. We're closing in on 2 minutes played here in the second quarter. Maxey against Johnson. It's good, and the Brooklyn lead is cut down now to just 2 on the basket from Maxey.
And with how explosive Maxey is, he's not your average guard in the paint.
Thomas, no luck. They can get back in front with some points right here.
Yeah, they got behind, but really hung in there and didn't let the score get out of hand. The backcourt today as good as it gets, and they've earned the green light every time they touch the ball.
Johnson inside, covered by Oubre. Johnson gets the bucket.
And we've seen several lead changes tonight, neither team giving an edge.
And right now you love the chess match, right? The ability of each side to adjust to what the other is doing.
And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call. Now, while we have a second, let's go to the 2K leaderboard for a list of the league's top shooters from last season. 5th best, Nick Claxton.
Put the ball in the bucket. I mean, that's the name of the game, right? I mean, just ask him. He'll have the answer for you.
Johnson with a screen on Maxey. Johnson surveying the floor. And then Johnson with the dunk.
Size and athleticism by Cam Johnson. How about that vertical?
And you talk about complementary pieces, Doris. Cam Johnson could fit on any team in the NBA.
And that is because, Kevin, he has got one of the most valuable skills in the game today. That's range shooting. He's got size and a quick release, and he just continues to grow on the defensive end.
Here's Drummond. Back to Maxey. Johnson against George. And then George with the jam.
Oh, Paul George, let him hear you with that finish. That is nicely done.
Johnson outside. Pass to Johnson. Hefty move. He takes it up and lays it in. Johnson's got 6.
Well, a tough first quarter for this guy. You like to see the shot go in. Nicely done.
Now Maxey. He's got 5. And he drives in. And Drummond kicks to George. Just 5 on the clock. Kicks it out to Maxey. Drummond sets the screen for Maxey. Offensive rebound. Oubre left side. Here's George, and George with the stuff.
Paul George is very difficult to contain on a dribble drive. He's got length, handle, and size. Good luck.
Thomas with it, now defended by Embiid. Back to Thomas. Johnson with a screen on Maxey. Johnson against Oubre. The Nets need to get a shot off here. No good. Here's Maxey. And that one released in time, but no good. And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close game here. Nets lead by 1. Time now for the halftime break. With the third quarter soon to follow, right here on 2K Sports.
Looking at Philadelphia, like most teams right now, they're optimistic. We'll see how they handle the first couple of games.
Yeah. And taking a look now at the Brooklyn Nets. They're in a close contest.
Even before the game started, you could feel the energy in this arena.
And that is a wrap.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. Paul George really making a difference here.
He had a fast pass to the lane that first half, got inside on demand.
Now, this guy is such a good finisher on the move, and so far the defense has not been able to counter it.
And so in the game for the 76ers, Lowry out there with Gordon. Then there's Edwards, and it's Yabusele in at the 4 spot. Lowry deciding where to go with it here. For the tie. Can't hit that one. Nets leading by 3. Milton with the ball. Pass to Clowney. Goes back up. Out to Russell. For the 3. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
There it is, guys. One of those effort plays that makes a big difference in the game.
And GA, it is definitely making a difference so far today.
No doubt. On the scoreboard, in the body language of the players, you can tell which team is in complete command.
And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far.
Well, I guarantee you this is not what they talked about in the locker room. 0 for 3 and looking lost.
It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Kevin, the Sixers have their superstar in Joel Embiid, but Coach Nick Nurse says they have to maximize him in different ways. Nurse said unpredictability is the key. We have to relieve some of the pressure. Guys are overplaying and sending multiple players at him, and we have to find easy baskets out of it. Kevin?
Makes a lot of sense, David. Thank you. Second chance shot. Good as the jump shot falls. Clowney's got the lead up to 7 now for the Nets.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
It takes incredible effort to stay connected to the hip of the offensive player. You've got to want to work.
Here's Bona. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup.
Their first basket in 4 tries. Let's see if that basket gets them going. It can be contagious now.
Williams has a screen for Russell. Again, Russell missing.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
Here's Yabusele. Still without a basket. Just 5 to shoot. Philadelphia needs to get a shot off. They grab their own miss. And he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket. Now it's just a 3-point Nets lead.
And that solid play in the paint continues here, guys.
Here's Melton. It's hauled in by Edwards.
Well, we love his ability to attack the rim. He just loses a little bit of focus and misses the chippy.
And it's Eric Gordon with the foul. That's his first foul. Third quarter here, and 3 minutes have come off the clock. Russell. Shot goes down. Very quick possession right there. And the Nets lead by 5.
Well, D'Angelo Russell aggressive on the offensive end, and it doesn't matter if he's 2 or 3, he can score it. This is a quarter he'd rather forget. This guy just can't seem to get the lid off of that bucket.
Snatched up. Williams kicks to Russell. Pass to Sharp. There's the 3. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound.
And you can tell right there, the defense is totally fine with him shooting that. That's not his game.
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
The very definition of quality transition offense. If it can end at the cup, it's exactly where you want it.
Back to Melton. They get it back. Out left to the wing. And here is Williams. Scoreless thus far. 4 on the clock. Off target from outside. The 76ers trail by 3. Here's Edwards. Pass to Bona. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws. And yep, we thought we might see it. And the coach's challenge has been triggered.
Two shots.
In closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, Greg, to make the right call. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in air. So they have determined to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
35 seconds left to play in the third. Outside Lowry. And stolen by Russell.
You love that defensive effort right there showing up.
And the slam dunk by Russell.
Well, in the open floor, D'Angelo Russell understands he can be special.
And here's Lowry. He'll bring it up for Philadelphia. It's a 5-point game. And the layup's good off the glass.
And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
Now, here's Melton. Pass to Clowney. Buries the long-range jumper. Clowney's got 7 points here in this quarter.
How about the timing? Could be the difference between an assist and a turnover. Nice delivery.
And we've reached the end of the third. Brooklyn ahead, leading by 6. And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
It's just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
We call that putting it right in the pocket, and he knew what to do with it once it was there.
And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. We've got Johnson, also Cam Thomas out there. Nicholas Claxton out there with Johnson. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. Nets leading by 3. Johnson surveying the floor. Kicks it out to Johnson. And the Nets, another 3.
Oh, so good at catch and shoot. Cam Johnson has sweet mechanics.
Drummond sets the screen for Maxey. Inside. And it's Drummond missing. And for Brooklyn, they're shooting 49% on the game. They'll take that. Here's Thomas.
Well, you love the strong finish by Cam Thomas. So good when he's getting to his game with assertiveness.
Knocked loose. It's stolen by Johnson. Launches it. That shot is off. The 76ers trail by 8. Drummond passes to Oubre. Offensive rebound. This is where Embiid wants the ball.
And talk about effort. Embiid staying with that one.
Basket good. Claxton's got the lead. Back up to 8 now for the Nets.
Well, the defense wants to keep the ball out of that area. Why? Because if it gets in there, most players are going to finish.
They get it back. Embiid kicks to Maxey. Now Drummond, 6 to shoot. Here's Embiid. Goes up with it again. And the rejection by Claxton. Embiid with the screen on Johnson. Here's the 3. Outside for George. And they go to the intentional foul.
First personal foul. First team foul.
Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Maxey passes to Drummond. 5 on the clock. No one near Maxey as he lets it fly. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron.
Oh, nice shot by Maxey. He is definitely a 3-level guy.
Thomas with it, driving in. Rebound by the 76ers. Embiid's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Maxey looking it over. Stolen away. Here's Johnson. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up. And so the coach's challenge here comes into play. The coach protesting the personal foul call.
Second personal. First team foul.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult it's so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able to. A challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
Some changes for Brooklyn. Ami's checked in, and it's Whitehead in for Johnson. Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Well, during that break, Coach Nick Nurse talked to his team. Now he's encouraging them to keep attacking in the paint. He said, when we get inside, we score. Simple as that. Keep attacking and don't settle for anything that's not at the rim. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, David. And that one falls for Johnson.
You know what's interesting to me about Cam Johnson? He comes into the league with a reputation strictly as a sweet shooter. The fact is he's proven to be much more than that.
Maxey kicks to George. Embiid sets the pick for George. Over to the left wing. Just 5 on the clock. Over Johnson. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
Normally he'll drill that shot, and I'm sure they'll look to find him in that spot again.
No doubt. Very good play called, good execution. Sometimes it just doesn't fall.
He's just stretching him out. The defense has got to do a better job of staying attached to him.
Well, you know this. This is a guy who's looking for his shot the whole time. You have to know who you're guarding. KYP, know your personnel.
His third personal foul. Team seconds.
Good on the first, and that'll push the lead to double digits.
Stepping the line with 2 shots.
And so he hits both. Philadelphia's gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Drummond a screen. Intercepted.
And at this point, just sort of running through the paces as it appears it'll be a nice win here for the Nets.
You know, it's tough to put your finger on the deciding factor in this one, but I'd say that the shooting accuracy made the difference.
Yeah, I think you're on point, Kevin. They got better looks, and that tends to lead to a better field goal percentage.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. A very solid win indeed. And when you check out the box score, there were some great numbers for Keon Johnson.
I think it would be impossible to overstate the influence he had on this basketball game. He was the centerpiece of what they did on the offensive end and the anchor of their defense. That's as complete a performance as we've seen.
Claxton a screen on Maxey. Shoots a 3. Claxton no good.
I think it's safe to call this one a wrap.
Well, it's been a hard-fought battle through much of the night. They just missed out on a couple of opportunities they'd love to do over.
From deep, George gets the 3-pointer to fall. George has got it back down to within single digits for Philadelphia. Poked loose. And Drummond kicks to Oubre. Knocks down the trifecta. 8 seconds left in the game. Here's Thomas. And so it's Brooklyn with the win. They didn't make it easy on themselves or their fans.
But eventually, I'll get there. I'm a tiger on the loose, I'm a menace in the booth, I'm the medicine you're afraid to take. I'm the gasoline and nut and the devil in your gut that you're fighting just to keep it baked. Kinda like the view with the dice and me, top down with the rims and gold. So baby, pour me a drink, I'm gonna let out the freak beat back in the fist. Let it
There are still so many unknowns, Greg.
You're right. You learn a little about each team in the preseason. But once the games count, things really start coming into focus.
Looking at the starting five for Boston. Holiday at the 1 with White at the 2. The core of this team, Brown and Tatum in the front court. And it's Porzingis in at the 5. Outside Johnson. The 3 is up. Boston pulls it in. Last time they met in Boston.
Well, in this last matchup, they captured the win in large part because their backups provided a lot of the scoring punch.
And you can tell how important having depth is for them. Sometimes it's the difference between a win and a loss.
And finished off by Tatum.
That was a beautiful screen set there. And look, Tatum, he'll take care of the rest.
Here's Johnson. And when you talk about the Boston Celtics last year, they were historically good, Richard.
Yeah, they had the 4th best net rating ever in the history of the game. That's Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, the MJ Bulls. Shattered the NBA record for offensive rating at 123.1. They were unreal.
The Nets haven't been to the conference finals since 2003. Richard, can you name someone on that team?
There was a 22-year-old dude named, I think it was Richard Jefferson, but most people have never heard of him. But seriously, the Nets have had some great players over the last 20 years. They just haven't had that same team success.
Pass to Thomas. Timmy, he's covered by Holiday. Timmy, and that one's long. And so Holiday will bring it up for the Boston Celtics. The kick to Tatum. Inside. It's stolen by Johnson. Fast break, Brooklyn. And Johnson gets it to go on the assist by Johnson.
Nice pass by Cam Johnson, keeping his eyes up, letting things unfold.
Here's Porzingis. Rebounded by Johnson.
I thought he had that all sewn up, but somehow the defense just threw him off.
Johnson passes to Thomas. This one for 3. Drills it from deep.
Quality pass by Thomas. He was paying attention out there.
For For Boston, they've gone 1 for 3 so far. Johnson against Holiday. White looking it over. Will it go? Uneasy, too, on the layup.
Just taking it right to the rim, and no one was there to greet him.
Easy possessions like that literally are just a gift. You just dream of them. He'll gladly take those.
Johnson against White. And it falls. 2 for 3 from the field so far.
And defensively, you have to make him work harder than this, or it's going to be a long night.
The drive by Holiday. And Holiday powers it home.
Offensively, that's the strength of Holiday's game.
Well, Richard, with the career he's had, it's hard to believe Drew Holiday has only made 2 All-Star teams.
Well, that speaks to how much talent is at the guard position in this league. But it also shows how we tend to award offense over defense because Drew, his impact is truly felt on the defensive end.
Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Jaylen Brown is playing with so much confidence. He said, quote, "I feel like I'm a different player. My body has changed. Athletically, I'm entering my prime. I'm more aware on defense and offense. I feel like on both sides of the ball, I'm playing the best basketball of my life."
Well, it shows, Allie, for sure. Claxton a screen on White. Johnson passes to Johnson. Soft touch off the glass. Johnson's got 5.
Starting to find his rhythm. He's cooking, and he knows it.
Yeah, when he gets engaged this early in the game, it's bad news for the defense. He can roll this start throughout the rest of the game.
Here's Holiday. Boy, he just disappeared against New York. They needed him. There's 53 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. And that one's good for Porzingis.
The ideal pick man. Porzingis has a giant frame and can roll to the hoop or pop it out and hit a J in this action.
Johnson a screen on White. Johnson inside. He's guarded by White. Johnson with a bucket. Give him 8 points now.
Attacking in the painted area. Clearly that was their game plan coming in.
Those are the turnovers that have coaches pulling their hair out. Why do you think I'm bald?
There's 38 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. And it's all from three-point range.
Yeah, that's a shame because I'm not sure the defense will let him get a shot that good again very soon.
And Holiday takes this responsibility seriously. When someone is open on his squad, he gets it to them.
White against Johnson. Driving inside. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up.
First personal foul.
That one on Tatum. This is his second trip to the line in the game. First one falls for him.
Stepping to the line with 2 shots.
And so he makes both from the line. Celtics trail by 4. Outside Holiday. Pass to Tatum. Oh, Tatum slams it home.
He may not have that traditional power forward build, but his bounce, well, that kind of levels the playing field.
Boston shooting their first free throw of the game. Here's Johnson. Oh, and Johnson slams it in.
And they keep trading punches. Both teams in a groove early.
You have to think at this point the winner will be the one to settle in on defense.
Great job executing that inbounds play. That's got to make Coach happy.
Both teams have it going here early and still close through the first quarter. And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even on the scoreboard so far. All right, what stands out to you from the Nets in this one?
Attacking relentlessly, drawing fouls. They won that first quarter at the stripe.
Hoping to continue that success from the line throughout this one.
On the court for the Celtics, second quarter underway. The perimeter pair, White and Brown. Tatum is the 4 with Porzingis at center. And it's Holiday in at the point.
Oh, this is how aggressive Tatum is. Excellent job of getting to the rim and a finish. Just light work.
And Drew Holiday gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Cloudy, he's checked in for Brooklyn. Here's Thomas. Played it in with a nice touch off the window. Thomas has got his first points in this one.
Oh, Thomas can be scary when he's getting points inside. That really rounds out his game.
Well, you look at Cam Thomas, Grant. Do you think he has the potential to be a star in this league?
Well, you know, it's tough to say, B.A. He has a lot of talent, especially as a scorer. I think he has to keep evolving other parts of his game if he wants to become a full-fledged star.
Here's Clowney on the take, and the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Throws it down emphatically.
He's got serious hops, right? You add that to his ability to penetrate, that's 2 easy points. The Nets with a lead. Johnson inside, Brown's there, and it's going to be a 3-second call. And now let's glance at the league's most aggressive defensive teams from last year. 5th best, Boston.
They made life hard on opponents. One of the best defenses in the NBA last year.
Holiday taking his time here. The kick out to White. Tatum, a screen on Thomas. Outside Tatum. Pass to Brown. From downtown. Rebounded by the Nets. Close the net on 2 minutes played here in the second. And Claxton throws it down.
Oh, my. That's why we had those breakaway rims.
Dude, he risked pulling the whole thing down to the floor right there.
When you want an emphatic finish, Brown is the man you are looking for. He does not waste opportunities like that.
Claxton attacking. He's in his comfort zone. 2 for 2 to start this one.
Used the pick to perfection and got all the way to the rim.
To the paint. Ooh, anticipated the pass. It's a turnover. Here's Whitehead. Oh, a dunk and a foul! A powerhouse move. He's got a chance for one more at the line.
Defensive foul.
That one on White. All right, guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for Brooklyn?
The story so far has been their mid-range shooting. The analytics might not like it, but elite offenses still knock it down from that area.
And following off of what you said, they've really done a good job distributing the ball, passing up good shots for great ones.
Knocked away. Thomas with a steal. Here we go. And he goes in for the dunk.
And don't forget about that steal from Thomas. That started the action.
And White has got the ball here for the Boston Celtics. 9-point game. Here's Brown. Man, Brown just showing his toughness inside. Well, Grant, you were an excellent defender in your day. So who was the toughest player you had to guard?
Well, there were so many great players. Michael, LeBron. But let's talk about the late, great Kobe Bryant. I mean, he really had no weaknesses. And even if you defended him perfectly, there's a good chance he can still make the shot.
Here's Tatum. Back to Holiday. The kick out to White. Pass to Porzingis. And here's White. Second shot opportunity. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
And he's very confident from that range, but you can't make him all.
And here's Thomas from the arc. Knocks down the triple. Thomas has got 5 points in the quarter.
And what's working here? Each guy is willing to make the next pass.
Holiday drives in. And Holiday powers it home.
You know that has to get the team going. Holiday's teammates love when he goes up strong.
Thomas against Holiday. 1:05 left in the first half. Pass to Whitehead. Launches a three. Oh, drew the foul and almost hit the three-point bucket. But he'll head to the line for 3. That one on White.
Hey, nice work attracting the foul from deep. He'll shoot 3.
Some changes for Brooklyn. Sharp, he's checked in for Claxton. Williams comes in for Johnson. And D'Angelo Russell subbed in for Thomas. And he nails the third.
Showing more aggression here in the second quarter. He's seeking contact and working himself to the line.
Russell against Holiday. And he'll draw the foul. He'll head to the line for 2.
He's 6'4" and well-built. Drew is bigger and stronger than you think.
Boston shooting their second and third free throws tonight. Melton, he's checked in for Whitehead. That one's no good. Brooklyn leading by 9. Here's Clowney. And he makes it. Clowney's gotten his second bucket.
Credit their discipline. They've been working for high percentage shots.
Here's White. Right side Porzingis. Takes one from 10 feet. Brooklyn pulls it in. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Melton finds Sharp. Back to Melton. Puts one up from 19. He's off on that one. Celtics trail by 11. Brown passes to Porzingis. Okay, do it, KP.
And off the jump, they were effective from deep. I don't know why they haven't continued to fire from out there.
Russell with the ball. Here's the three. Sinks it from distance. Out of bounds. It'll be Brooklyn's ball.
I'm not sure what happened there. You just can't give away possessions in this league.
Substitutions on the court.
And so it's the Brooklyn Nets going into the break up 12. They put in work down low, getting in close and scoring in bunches. Back to the game after this break.
You look at the Celtics, you really get to see what they're made of. After your hard work in the offseason, yeah, you have big change.
And let's talk now about the game we've been watching. What a terrific first half for the Nets.
No sloppy pass.
Thanks for tuning in.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. Celtics trail by 12. They've got Williams. D'Angelo Russell is out there with Anthony Melton. Then they're Sharp, and it's Clowney in at the power forward position. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn.
First team foul.
Pritchard, the pass to Craig. Back to Pritchard, and stolen by Williams.
That was just incredible instincts defensively. He saw the ball coming back out and made the play.
Here's Clowney. Horford covering. Clowney can't get it to go. The Celtics shooting at a very efficient 67%. Pass to Craig. Here's Hauser. Cornette sets a screen. Lets it fly. Hauser can't get it to go. Nets leading by 12. Outside Russell. Shoots it from the corner. And it's Cornette with a rebound. Here's Pritchard, guarded by Russell. Pritchard, the pass to Horford. Horford gets it done inside.
Yeah, the moment Horford has the rock down low, good night. I mean, just too many moves from the vet.
A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Brian, it's great hearing Celtics coach Joe Mazzulla talk shop. He said everybody tries to break basketball up into offense and defense, but it's one game. Your spacing, decision-making, and shot selection set up your defense. That transition happens so fast, so the game is constantly changing. It's all connected, Brian.
No question. Thanks, Allie. Good stuff there.
This defense just can't stay connected to shooters.
And Pritchard, here we go. Pass to Craig. And stolen by Williams. And now the Nets on the break. Melton with a screen on Craig. And Williams punches it home.
Slams it down with two hands.
Man, they're really getting aggressive now. Pritchard, the pass to Horford. Good setup. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup.
They're finding ways to get the ball into the paint. 5 consecutive buckets.
Hard to find a season in his career where Horford didn't make an impact, RJ.
One way or another, he's going to help his team win. Still out there doing it and doing it at a high level. He's kind of an ageless wonder.
Here's Pritchard, guarded by Russell. And Pritchard, here we go. Count it.
I know what they say, defense wins championships, but you need some bucket getters too now.
Here's Melton. No made baskets yet. Williams with the screen. The three is up. And Pritchard pulls it down. Celtics trail by 11. Horford, a screen on Sharp. Cornette passes to Horford. The lead now in single digits. Horford's got 6 points in the quarter.
Man, that's now 10 straight points in the paint. I'm not sure what's happened to their defense, man.
And there's the call on Al Horford. That's his first foul.
First team foul.
Second half here, and we're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Here's Williams, and Williams punches it home.
Just such a terrific dunk.
And born to fly, that's for sure. Here's Pritchard, guarded by Russell. It's a 3-on-3 fast break. Robbed. 58 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Craig finds Horford. And the layup is good. Horford's got 8 points.
Very little resistance around the rim right now. That's the 5th straight bucket they've given up in the paint.
Here's Russell. Ooh, and he took a hard foul on the shot. So he'll head to the line to shoot a pair.
And Russell is a shoot-first kind of player. A combo guard who doesn't lack any confidence.
So Boston ends up going with a new group. And he sinks the second. Celtics trail by 10. Here's Holiday. No good that time. Brooklyn has gotten 5 of 11 threes to drop so far in this game. Sharp against Holiday. Now here's Sharp. Not a lot of room. Can't connect from short range. For Boston, they've gotten 5 of 7 attempts in the third quarter. Here's Porzingis. Porzingis punishing inside.
Inside, Porzingis can pretty much take what he wants. He's just too tall.
Outside Russell. Here's Clowney. That three's off the mark. And so it's the Brooklyn Nets finishing the quarter with an 8-point lead. Great shot. With 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store. Nets leading by 8. On the court right now for the Celtics. The 2 Jays, Brown at the 3 and Tatum at the 4. Holiday at the 1 with White at the 2. And it's Porzingis in at the center position. Clowney can't get it to go. And so it's Holiday who brings up the ball for the Boston Celtics. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
You don't want to stop the clock right there. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
A full line change here for Brooklyn. And stolen by Claxton. Up top, Johnson. Defended by Brown. Claxton against Porzingis. And here's Johnson. Clock at 6. Johnson a screen on Brown. Oh, it's blocked by Porzingis.
You see why Porzingis is one of the best shot blockers in the league. All the length.
Celtics trail by 8. Now here's Tatum to the inside. And Porzingis gets it to go on the assist by Tatum.
And talk about imposing your will. That's 10 straight points in the paint.
Johnson against White. It's Johnson with a drive. Pass to Johnson. Out to the right wing. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Timmy. Perfection. Beautiful stroke. And the Nets lead by 8.
This has been the story of the game. A battle fought on offense.
Yeah, but I think it's going to come down to who can get the stops down the stretch, because that's who's going to come away with this one.
Johnson against Tatum. Beyond the arc. Tatum drills the 3.
With his touch, Tatum's a threat from anywhere.
Thomas against Holiday. And he dunks it down.
Defensively, you can't afford to let him get to the rim that easily.
Well, that might be why their deficit is what it is right now.
Yeah, it's going to take better rim protection than that if they're going to climb out of this hole.
Here's Holiday, and Holiday powers it home.
The athletic ability of Holiday on full display there.
A touch under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the 4th. Here's Thomas. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
Love how selfless he is setting brick screens like this. Plays like that right there are what help create easy scoring opportunities.
Here's Holiday, and there's the drive, and the foul is called. He missed. Head coach doesn't like the call at all. He's opting.
Shooting for Boston, Drew Holiday. Yeah, the line with 2 shots.
Challenge in place. We've seen so many of these personal foul calls still disputed even after the video review.
There's no doubt there's going to be a gray area in a lot of these calls. But at least we have the option to take a second look, so the officials can be sure they get it right. And they've made their decision. The call will stand.
And as much as it hurts to lose a challenge, I think Coach would challenge that call again if he could. He really disagreed with the foul, and he's still peeved.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
Well, over the break, I listened in on Jordy Fernandez's huddle. Despite the lead, Coach was stern with the guys, mentioning to the team, do not let up. I've seen some big comebacks in this league, and this is not over. An interesting message. B.A.?
And Allie, thank you for that.
In terms of point of attack, on-ball defenders, it does not get better than Drew Holiday. He is relentless and has great length as well.
White against Johnson. Drives to the hoop. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance at a 3-point play.
He hears the whistle, and he keeps his concentration and is able to knock it down.
And a look at how the hustle game has been going for the Nets.
They've been defending with excellent anticipation all game long. Just look at how many times they've managed to get their hands on the ball.
Yeah, another thing they did well, running the floor. They've kept the pace high and pulled away with their transition offense.
Porzingis sets a screen to the wing, right side. And the 3 off target. Nets leading by 8. Here in the 4th quarter, just under 2.5 gone by. Here's Claxton. Misses the layup. Boston's gone 3 of 6 from deep so far. And Holiday, here we go. Rebound Brooklyn. Thomas with the ball. Guarded now by Holiday. Thomas passes to Johnson. Claxton against Tatum. Back to Johnson. Here's Claxton. Tries again. And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line.
First personal foul.
Kristaps Porzingis picks one up.
Yeah, and you never want to let shots at the rim go uncontested.
Stepping to line.
So he can't get either to fall. Celtics trail by 8. Here's Holiday. So it'll be 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting.
Such a smart leader. I like seeing Holiday force the defense into fouling him.
First free throw is good, and that narrows the gap to 7. Holiday hits them both.
Those are big free throws. Now they need some defensive stops.
The Nets have got 4 of 8 shots to drop here in this final quarter. Timmy, hounded by Tatum. The kick out to Johnson. Over Holiday. Brooklyn, no good that time either. And it's Holiday with the ball for the Celtics. Tatum passes to White. And it's good. What a beautiful shot. Brings them within 3.
Intelligent play by Tatum, moving the ball to get an open shot.
Thomas against Holiday. Thomas passes to Johnson. Johnson a screen on Brown. Johnson finds Thomas. Over Holiday. Some solid defense from Holiday.
And the shooter had very little space on that attempt.
I'm sure they'll think twice about shooting against him next time.
The 3, Porzingis. So it's a narrow victory for the Nets, pulling it out for the W. What a performance they had here at home today.